Testing, testing. Testing. Missed it. Testing, testing. Hello, welcome. Welcome to Seattle's Indigenous Peoples Day. Boy, you are all so beautiful.
Test, test. Good afternoon, friends and relatives. My name is James Old Coyote. Happy Indigenous Day to everybody. At this time, I would like to call up my Canoe family and also the CKA Bears. We're going to offer up a song along with a prayer to bless up the food. Bless each and every one of you up, our families, our loved ones. At this time, I want to introduce my cousin, Haandei, Harold Belmont Jr.
Osiem, Insiayos, Skyilum, Quinsna, Etos, Qualo, Qualam, Tomokstam, Estate, Equala, I was Chelsea, Insiayos, Hochum. We are the Sacred Water Canoe family. I am Skyilum. Very glad to be up here and honored on behalf of Sacred Water. I would just like to be honored and say thankful that I can say a few words in Haukamela, my grandmother's language. Really, really thankful. I know my father, Harold Lloyd Belmont Sr., is looking down on us. He's been doing this work for years, and I'm glad these young ones can take this work over, that we could carry on this legacy of all the ancestors have gone before us. Hi, Coachella.
We're going to share a table song. It's called Clam Jam. Ask our relatives from West Shore to come sing with us too. Hi, Chkasiam.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Canoe family. Can you all hear me? Yes? Waving back there? Okay, great. So we have, like I said, we have some food. It's inside. It's also being live streamed. So when you do go in there, you'll still get to see everybody and you won't be missing anything. So we just have a couple of things to take care of first before we can all go in there and do that. Mariko, Lockhart, are you here? I think we're running just a couple of minutes ahead of schedule. Boy, that's strange, isn't it? So while we're waiting for Mariko to come up here, I just want to say again, thank you, each and every one of you, for being here. It does take some time and it takes money to put on events like this where we can celebrate one another and being Indigenous and being together. And it's such a beautiful thing. And so we've had a lot of people working hard to make sure that this day happens where we can be together. And I want to thank everybody who has volunteered their time and their energy, their money, the food, and bless each and every one of those people that made sure that we have nourishment for our bodies, our souls, to be with each other. So I want to raise my hands up to everybody that has provided that for us today. I also need to thank our sponsors. We do have sponsors that have also helped to make this event possible. And if I had my glasses on, I'd be able to see it a little bit better. So we have the City of Seattle's employee group that's a tribal group, and it's called Canoes, and they've been working hard all year long behind the scenes to organize and get all of this put together. So I would like to thank them. The United Indians of All Tribes Foundation, Seattle City Council. I really should have prepared better. I'll come back to that when I can see that. Mariko, where are you? Aha, all right. We'll turn it over, thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. And thank you. Welcome to everyone here. This is a beautiful gathering every year. This is just one of my favorite days to come to City Hall. It's so important. It's such an important occasion to raise up our Native cultures, our Native people, our Native employees. And it is an honor for the Seattle Office for Civil Rights to support this event through our staff support and support of our commissions to organize this beautiful event. Our vision, the Seattle Office for Civil Rights vision, is of a city of liberated people where communities historically impacted by racism, oppression, and colonization hold power and thrive. And this event helps us to share that vision with you and to help us move in that direction. I'd also like to acknowledge my staff, especially Marta Idowu, the work of Canoes that was just mentioned, our affinity group of Native American employees, and all of the other partners that made this event possible. I see that we have many people here advocating to address the very critical issue of missing and murdered Indigenous women. And I want to thank you. And I hope that all of us raise up our support for this movement. So please join me in thanking everyone first, and then I'm going to introduce our next speaker. But thank you to everyone here. I'm really pleased to introduce our Deputy Mayor, David Mosely. He'll be coming to the microphone to provide welcoming greetings from our mayor and support for this event. It's so critical that we acknowledge this day and every day And I'm really pleased that he will be able to share directly from our highest leadership in the city.
Thank you very much, Mariko. Thank you very much, and thank you all for being here. And thank you to the Sacred Water Canoe family for recognizing that we stand on Coast Salish lands here in the city of Seattle. On behalf of Mayor Durkin, I would like to thank each and every one of you for being here as we celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day here in the city of Seattle. In Seattle, we know that without the lasting contributions that Indigenous people have made and continue to make to our community, we would not be the innovative, vibrant city that we are today. As many of you know, we are the only major city in the United States named after a Native American leader. The city of Seattle is named after the great chief, Chief Seth of the Duwamish and Suquamish tribes. On Indigenous Peoples Day and every day, we celebrate that legacy. 5 years ago, the Native American activists and allies successfully advocated for the city of Seattle to recognize this day, the second Monday of October of every year, as Indigenous Peoples Day. I'm proud to be here as we continue this important new tradition of honoring the ground we stand on and celebrating the legacy and contributions of the Native communities. This year's event honors the wisdom, knowledge, and power of Indigenous women. I want to express my gratitude to all the city departments and to all of our departments, our partners throughout the city and the city council for making this event happen. I am now very pleased to provide a proclamation which has been signed by Mayor Durkin and all 9 members of the Seattle City Council, naming today, October the 14th, Indigenous Peoples Day in the city of Seattle. Heather, I'd like to present this to you.
How about that? So next we have the Daybreak Star preschoolers that are going to come up. So if they could start making their way, that would be wonderful. And we're trying to work on the sound to get it up a little bit. I feel like I'm screaming and you still can't hear me. Daybreak Star preschoolers will be coming up. This is a high-quality Indigenous emergence and play-based program that sees children to become competent and confident learners. Located in United Indians Daybreak Star Culture Center in Seattle's Discovery Park, they serve children ages 3 to 5. And they are cute. This is the 7th generation, right? This is our future. This is why we're here. Our past, our present, and our future. And here they come.
Sage, you come right here. Omar, come over here.
Halito Amakana sa Hochifo Yet Miriam, Choctaw Siahoke, Cherokee Siahoke, Sac Fox Siahoke. Well, actually, I'm going to leave that in there. So while our kiddos are getting ready to sing, we've got a couple other ones that are coming from the bathroom. I just wanted to say a few words. So first of all, happy Indigenous Peoples Day. And we are so honored to have been asked here for the, I believe this is the 4th year that the preschool is presenting here at Indigenous Peoples Day. So we are representing Daybreak Star Indian Cultural Center. Let's give a hand to the preschoolers. So yes, this is Daybreak Star Indian Cultural Center, and we have the Eagles and the Ravens class. I also want to say that I want to just acknowledge that we are on Indigenous land, and I want to be thankful and have those thoughts with those Indigenous people, especially a lot of our ancestors that are probably so incredibly thrilled and excited to think that like this is a day of celebration. It's a day that we could all celebrate the important things that we all value in terms of our heritage, honoring those who have struggled, honoring those who have sacrificed to make sure that we can have a day like today. Hi, sweetie. You want me to hold you? Yes. Yes. You want to come up here? Yeah.
Bye.
You want to say hello?
Hello.
Hello. Yes. So this is Ingsol. She is from Mongolia, and I think that this also goes to what is really beautiful about the school is that we have about 70% Native students in our program, but we also have families from many other cultures. So we have families here representing different parts of Mexico, Central, South America. We have Mongolia. We have Kurdistan. We have Ethiopia. We have Haiti. And we also have Nigeria. We have about 18 different tribes represented. Okay. How do you think we're doing? Okay. All right. So we're going to get ready to sing. What are you saying, sweetie? You want to say hello to your parents? Yes, you tell them.
Say hello.
Hello.
Bye.
Say bye. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. We're going to start to sing, okay? I'm going to put you down for a second, okay? Sticks up. All right, so we're going to be singing 2 songs today. We have a community song that was taught to us by our amazing librarian, Miss Mai, who is here. And then we also have, pick up your drums, please. And then we also have a Cherokee morning blessing song as well that we're going to be singing. Okay.
Everybody have their sticks up?
Sticks up. Okay. I am part of my community. I have a place in the circle. What Hey, hey, eagles. Hey, hey, eagles. Hey, hey, eagles. Hey, hey, eagles. I am part of my community. I have a place in the circle. What is your name? we go. All right, Nashoba, turn around, please. All right, the next song we're going to sing is called the Cherokee Morning Song. All right, remember, friends, it's one that goes, Wednesday, okay. All right. All right, 1, 2, 3. Wednesday, ho. Wednesday, ho. Wednesday, Wednesday, ho, 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 ho. Hey, ho, hey, ho. Ya, ya, ya. Ya, ya, ya. Wednesday, ho. Louder, louder. Wednesday, ho. Wednesday, Wednesday, ho, 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 ho. Hey, ho, hey, ho. Ya, ya, ya. Ya, ya, ya. One more time. Wednesday, ho. Wednesday, Wednesday, ho, 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 ho. Hey, ho, hey, ho. Ya, ya, ya. Ya, ya, ya. All right. All right, sticks up. Sticks up. Okay. All right, can you guys say Happy Indigenous Peoples Day?
Happy Indigenous Peoples Day! Sticks. Thank you, Hollis. Drums. Drums.
All right, kiddos are going to walk this way.
Drums.
Sage, Sage. Hey, Sage. We're going to walk this way. That way. We're going to walk out the sides. Thank you, guys. All right. Kadir, come on. Here, you can walk with her. Kadir, walk with me. Up. Sage, Kadir, come on. We're going to walk this way. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you, everybody, for having us. The children have been really excited about preparing for this day. So thank you again for the opportunity for them to share. And this is the next generation.
Aren't they amazing? Oh my goodness. We have all kinds of things up here now. So I apologize for the sound system again. Inside, it's working perfectly, but out here we have just one speaker. So for those of you in the back, I apologize. And if I yell and I blow you guys in the room out, well, I'm sorry about that too. So next, this time I'll use my glasses. How about that? Our next speaker is our Socialist City Council member, Shama Sawant. She has been a leader in Seattle's fight for $15 per hour minimum wage. She is also the council member who has worked in solidarity with Matt Remle and the urban Native community to fight and win Indigenous Peoples Day in Seattle back in 2014. Since then, she has been honored to have been working with urban Native community members to divest Seattle from Wells Fargo. Woo! Awesome. To stand with the No Dakota Access Pipeline movement. Woo! Yes! And pass a City of Seattle resolution recognizing the trauma caused by Indian boarding schools in our city and our state. Last year, she worked alongside many urban Native activists to tax Amazon and big business to fund affordable housing and provide services for homeless people. And after having won several renters' rights policies in the last 4 years, she's now helping lead a fight for rent control in Seattle to address high rents faced by Seattle's renters, and which has caused so much eviction, and homelessness. Maybe that will be better if I get back in the center stage. Okay. Currently, she has, for 5 years now, she's been spearheading the People's Budget movement, which is calling for many things, including the right to legal counsel for tenants facing evictions, a massive expansion of tiny home villages, full funding for LEAD and other restorative justice and non-incarceration programs, and listen up for this one, full funding for Indigenous Peoples Day. Thank you. Let's hear it for our Socialist City Council member, Shama Sawant.
Thank you, sisters, brothers, siblings, community members. Some of you heard from me at Westlake, but we have an even bigger group of community here. So once again, happy Indigenous Peoples Day. It's truly an honor to be able to share this day and indeed the whole year with you all. As a socialist, a union member, an immigrant woman of color from India, the other colonized land, we have so much in common, and it is my honor to stand on the land of the Duwamish and pay respects to the Duwamish and all Coast Salish nations. Our leaders who fought for the Indigenous Peoples Day and the end of Columbus Day will remember that the path was not straightforward. All of us who believed that it was wrong to celebrate genocide and colonization, we came together to say that we do not accept a celebration of that kind, and instead we want a celebration of Indigenous people. And after Seattle was not the first city to pass Indigenous Peoples Day, but it was one of the first cities to do so in the nation. And after we did that, 151 cities, states, and universities across the nation have ended Columbus Day and ushered in Indigenous Peoples Day. Cities like Tacoma, Pullman, Yakima, and Olympia have done the same. Now, we stand together in demanding that Washington State Legislature in Olympia end Columbus Day celebration statewide and usher in a statewide Indigenous Peoples Day. We also know that this is a day of celebration, but this is also a day, as other speakers have already said, a day when we remind ourselves of the struggles of the people who came before us, on whose shoulders we stand, and how far we still need to go. And that is why today is a day of celebration, but it's also a call to action for all oppressed peoples to join together to fight for a different kind of society. A society that is free of exploitation, slavery, genocide, homophobia, sexism, sexual violence, and racism. And for that, we all need to come together. And most immediately, as Heather said, please make sure you take these flyers. We are fighting this year in the People's Budget Movement for full funding for Indigenous Peoples Day. And the reason we demand it is because full funding for Indigenous Peoples Day celebration every year cannot even begin to right the wrongs of the past and the present. That is the bare minimum that we need. But that is not all we are fighting for, although that is the most immediate thing we are fighting for. So while you take one of these red leaflets, make sure you sign the petition as well for Indigenous Peoples Day funding. But we are fighting for much more. We are fighting to end the violence against Indigenous women and girls. We're fighting for this city to be affordable for all working people. And for that, we do need to tax big business in order to have the revenues to make sure we have affordable housing, publicly owned affordable housing. We are also fighting for rent control. Over 12,000 ordinary people in Seattle have already signed our petition to have a citywide policy that will put an end to the exploitative, skyrocketing rents in our city. Should we fight for rent control? We also stand at the precipice of climate catastrophe, and for Seattle to do its part in fighting against climate crisis, we need Seattle to be a 100% renewable energy city by 2030. And for that, again, we need to tax big business so that we can fund a massive expansion of public transportation, make it fully electric, and make it free for everyone to use. We also need to carry out clean energy retrofitting of all our residential and commercial buildings. All of this, my fellow activists, will generate thousands of public sector unionized living wage jobs with priority hire and apprenticeship programs to benefit our most marginalized communities. We also stand together in fighting against police brutality. Black and brown people stand together in demanding accountability from the police department. So let's make sure we have a strong message of uniting everybody who wants to fight for a social justice-oriented and affordable city for all. And once again, happy Indigenous Peoples Day and Solidarity. And this banner that you see here is a gift to our community from my council office, and it is our honor to share this with you. Thank you so much.
So today, brothers and sisters, we are rich. We are rich. We have each other, and that's the most powerful thing we can have. We have the little ones here today. We have our elders with us here today. I see you, Mary. When we have each other, that's our strength. That's our medicine. No pharmaceutical can heal you the way we can heal each other. There's no medicine from a bottle that can take care of you when you need spirit, when you need love. And when we love each other, regardless of what race, what gender, what identity you have, then that's a richness. That's a richness of the people. And I feel sad for those people who don't understand this kind of love, this kind of wealth. And to me, when I go down to the earth and I offer that medicine, I remember each and every person on this earth, but not only the human beings. I'm reminded of the vibrations of the cedar tree, of our huckleberries, of the medicine all around us on the earth. And for those of you who are here in Seattle, take a moment to go to the water. That water is healing for us. It's that sacred medicine for us. It cleanses our spirit. It cleanses our mind. And when you're walking with a healthy mind, spirit, when your emotions are healthy, that's the richness of our people. That's the message of our Indigenous peoples, is to honor the earth, to honor each other, to keep this balance. In order to keep this balance, you must go to the medicine. You must go to your grandmothers, your aunties, those people who carry that good heart and mind to remind you, if you're off your path, you can always get back on it. For many, that's called forgiveness. The forgiveness and the healing. And that's what days like this is all about. It's to remind us that Indigenous peoples are still here, that the spirit of the Duwamish peoples are still here, and we honor those ancestors of the Duwamish peoples, the Coast Salish peoples. And we also honor those relatives who are with us here drumming today, the Lakota, the Nimipu, the Yakima. We thank the Lummi Nation and Suquamish. We thank all the relatives who come here today to remind us that we're still alive, that our lives still matter, and that when you see someone on the street and they're struggling, that you offer them something. My son reminds me of that. He's a young man, and he told me, "Mom, sometimes when I go purchase something at the store, I buy a little extra for someone out on the street. And every time I do that, something good happens in my day." And to me, that's the blessing of life. When you offer a bit of yourself to someone else, that to me is the strength of your spirit, the strength of a human being, another. And again, that's our wealth. That's our humility. That's the strength of our Indigenous nations. So when people ask us, "Who are you? Where do you come from?" we can tell them who we are, who our bloodlines, where we go, where we come from, and how important this earth is to us, and the connection to our earth, and the connection to one another. And yes, there's been struggles, and we have to honor those struggles, because you know what? It's making us stronger. We can stand back up and we can fight back. And in fact, we must fight back. And this fight is going to come in a different way. This fight is going to come when we march down the streets, when we line together, when we pick up our rattles, when we pick up our drums, when we educate our minds the true way of this life. That's our strength, that's our medicine, that's who we are as Indigenous peoples. When we honor the women, today Seattle has asked that we honor our Indigenous women. I have my sons here, my son Witua and Cedar, and I asked them, "How do you honor women? What does that look like?" Those are questions we must ask our children. But let's talk real. We must show them. We must show them that love. We must show them what good relationships look like. And I look at people like Matt Remle here. He's a good father, a good man. He works in our education department for the Marysville School District, and he takes good care of not only himself, but of other people. And that's the strength we share. That's the medicine we must share. To uphold and honor our women means to uphold and honor yourself and walk this walk in a sacred way. Choose a relationship that honors yourself and that honors your children. And that's some of the real talk that we must have with one another. And that's the healing. That's the healing we can take on. And again, this isn't our elders, Quilcemia, Anton's mother, my Siawan mother. She taught us that not only to love one another, but to keep on that sacred walk, to honor each other in each and every day in our walk of life. And when you pick up that drum and you sing, it's not just a song and dance. There's meanings that come to us. That's to heal our spirit. It's to take care of ourselves and to clear the energy so that you can walk away feeling good. And again, there's no money that can buy this goodness. There's no money that can take away that pain. It comes from that love, and it comes from a generosity and that heart of spirit. So these are the words I wanted to share here today. And again, it always comes back to that love. It comes back to taking care of yourself, taking care of your medicine. And you know what? Each and every one of you are here for a reason. And you stand up and you honor that reason any given chance you've got. Because that's why we're here. And it's no one else's business why we're here. It is up to us to find that. Each and every one of us within ourselves, and find that good in others. So in closing here, I see my sister, Deborah Juarez. I want to raise my hand, City Councilwoman from the Blackfeet Nation. Please, let's hear it for Deborah. Sorry, sister, I wanted to give you that honor. But I also want to thank each and every one of you for hanging with us, to listen to these words, to take a piece of the medicine of our songs, our dances, and this walk of life. I really believe these streets were blessed. These streets were blessed not only for us, but we blessed them for those to come. So I'd like to ask our sisters, some of our sisters, to come up, and we're going to end with a Women's Warrior song. At least this part, but I know some of our relatives will be singing. Actually, before that, I'm going to ask Anton, George, and the Lummi Nation. They're going to sing the Missing and Murdered Women's song, and then we'll end with a Women's Warrior song. So we'll ask the West Shore Canoe family to come forward. And thank you, Tigwitsi, thank you, the City of Seattle, for taking these steps to honor Indigenous peoples, for allowing us the space of our traditional peoples, so we can come together and pray. Let this continue on, not just today, but each and every day. ACM. going to ask our thank you to the West Shore Canoe family, Heichka. I'm going to ask the sisters to stay up here, Roxanne and Noreen. We're going to ask the sisters to stand in the front, and we'll ask our drummers and singers to join us. We're going to sing the Women's Warrior Song.
Thank you. Thank you for all the wonderful words and for sharing. Next, I'd like to ask Sacred Water and Chief Kitsap Academy Song and Dance Group to please come up.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, friends and relatives. Once again, my name is James Old Coyote. I'm a part of the Sacred Water Canoe family. I'm also a part of the Chief Kitsap Academy Bears family as well. My son Baron, he leads up this group of youth. He teaches them culture, teaches them songs. They work on the language, they work on regalia, drum making, just all kinds of life, you know, like I said down at Westlake, you know, happy Indigenous Days. You know, it's Indigenous Day every day for us. You know, we appreciate this day. You know, we appreciate the acknowledgement. But, you know, we live this day every day. It's just life. It's who we are. You know, that group of young kids that was up here on the stage earlier from United Indians, you know, we're still here. We are learning. We're here. We are the indigenous people from around this area, you know, from this Turtle Island. And it's important for when I have an opportunity to speak, you know, in front of groups or whatever, I always want to acknowledge our ancestors, acknowledge that suffering, the gruesome things that they went through not too many years ago, you know, so that we can be Indian, so that we can be Native, so we can be who we are, so we can be and do what the Creator put us on this earth to do, you know. And it's important that our youth, our young ones, know and understand that we can't take this life for granted. You know, too much blood and tears got spilt, you know, so that we can sing these songs, so we can speak our language. You know, my dad's 76 years old, and he has stories of being beaten bloody, and thrown in jail for being who he is, you know. 76 years old, and he was probably in his 20s and 30s during that time. You know, that's not very long ago that we as Native people we were getting beat down. And I know there's a lot of towns and cities across Turtle Island that don't have that support that the city of Seattle has, you know, that our neighboring tribes have around here. There's a lot of tribes on this northwest coast, and we're tight. We're all tight. We sing songs together. We travel our ancestral highways together, you know, and I know that there's some towns and cities out there that just don't have that family, that unity. And until we as Indian people get past our petty little arguments and our petty little fights and the things that we're fighting each other about, you know, we're going to continue to struggle. You know, we got to put down those differences. You know, I'm so proud, and I feel so good about being in this city hall with so many different traditions, you know, so many different tribes, so many different ways of life, you know. And we're here celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day. Yeah, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful to be able to stand up here and be surrounded by my youth, you know, the young people. This is our future, and they're strong. I want you to know that they're strong. So, Indian people, leaders, medicine people that are in this house, that are back here eating and listening in, let's do our part. Let's try to unite our people. You know, there's if you think about the things that we fight about, you know, fishing rights, you know, that's just the start of it. You know, people fight about ceremony. You know, so much judgments that people carry. There's an elder that I learned a lot from, and he talked about being that way again. Being that way again. There was a time when our people we just didn't judge people. We didn't judge the way they carried themselves in ceremony. We didn't judge the way they walked their everyday life. We accepted that. We appreciated that difference. There was a true love. There was a true connection. I've heard a lot of people talk about that connection to our Mother Earth. You know, there was a time when our people were connected, and that was what he was talking about, being that way again. And we got to get there, relatives. We got to get back to that place. You know, I mean, the things that we're getting ready to face with our Mother Earth, with the wars, you know, our leaders in the White House, you know, we as Indigenous people need to come together. And I'm real happy to look out into this crowd and see other people besides, you know, the Native people. You know, you're our friends, our relatives. And we appreciate you being here and supporting us, supporting our Mother Earth, supporting the people that are fighting, you know, for our missing and murdered Indigenous women and men. You know, I just want to say that thank you for the work that you guys are doing. You know, I don't want to get too long-winded. Sometimes I just start babbling, you know, but I just wanted to say that Indian people, leaders, council people, chiefs, medicine people, let's unite. I want to introduce my son Baron. Hajkasiam. It's a good day. It's a good day to be Indian. It's a good day to be alive. It's a good day to be over here walking these streets of the Suquamish and Duwamish territory. On behalf of the Chief Kitsap Academy, I want to raise my hands to the coordinators, say Haichka for having us here today. You know, the ones in these red hoodies, all of us, the majority of us wearing these, I'm one of the culture teachers, but the majority of these guys wearing these hoodies are high school students. And, you know, I want to say when our song and dance group is all together with grades 6 through 12, there's close to 50 of us. And I know I was told we're running a little bit behind schedule, so we just want to share a quick song. Don't want to take up too much time today. We're going to share a song composed by myself called Victory. It's a celebration song. Celebrate this day, Indigenous Peoples Day. Esiam. And before we end our little portion of Indigenous Day, we would like to sing one more song. It's called Grandmother's Love. And, we sing this song for our Mother Earth. We sing this song for our grandmas and for those prayers that were laid down for each and every one of us. I heard somebody say it's not by accident that you're here. Somebody prayed for this day, and this isn't by accident. So we want to offer up this song, Grandmother's Love. So with that, we want to say Happy Indigenous Day. Thank you to our ancestors for laying it down. Thank you for our lives. Hachkosiam.
Next, I'd like to invite Anton George and the West Shore Canoe family.
We'll see him. First of all, I want to put my hands up to each and every one that's still here yet. All the ones that coordinated today, that called all of these different people of color here to stand up and make our presence known, to be proud of who we are and where we come from, our heritage, our way of life. Thanking our ancestors, our elders, for keeping it alive for us. For those ones that faced racism, like what my brother was talking about. My father was a survivor of boarding school, was beaten for speaking his language. For all of those that endured all of those things throughout time till now, how much we as Indigenous people had to go through. Even myself faced racism in the Ferndale School District. Every day being in the office for fighting, defending myself because I had long hair, because I wore braids, because I was proud of who I am and where I came from. You know, still yet today we face a lot of struggle. You know, and like that brother that was up here earlier that got escorted out, I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. And that's a reminder. We can't be nobody's judge or jury. We just got to pray for him. One day he wakes up and sets that down and straightens his life out. Because everybody's life matters one way or another. We all have our purpose here on Mother Earth. And we go throughout our lives trying to find that purpose. One day, when our number is called and we get called home, we've served that purpose. So with that, I thank each and every one. We're only going to share one song, and then we'll be done. But once again, thanking each and every one of you. This song was composed by my son, Michael. Raise your hand. It's an honor song. Hashkasiyam.
Oh
Thank you all. Aishka.
Thank you, Ashore Canoe family. Next, we have Haandei I Jin.
We're singing. We're ready. Okay. Ready? Yes. Set. Yep. No drumming. Yeah, hey, yeah, hey, Nisa, hey, yeah. Yeah, hey, yeah, hey, Nisa, hey, yeah. Hey, Nisa, yeah, yeah. She's going down there. Oh, okay. Carlos, scoot over this way.
Saduts di Chinu I Jin, De Kwa di Nanu I Jin, Sabaja Hinu di Kyaang, Gatsaka Skustu di Kwalagan. My grandfather's name is Saduts, my grandmother's name is De Kwa, and my name is Sabaja. And for those that speak the common tongue, my name is also Brandon. Before you see here, we have our Haandei I Jin dance group. We're a Southeast Alaskan dance group, mainly consisted of Tlinkits, Haidas, and Tsimshians. But we have multiple cultures within our group here. All of our songs, they stem from the Southeast region. And the first one that you heard was our Copper River song. The next song that we'd like to sing for you is our Tsimshian Entering the House song. Haandei I Jin. Yahweh, Yahweh. Hawa, Ganesh Chish. Before we move on to our next song, I'd just like to thank the people that set up this whole event here, all the coordinators, all those people here in front of us, all those that were involved. Really like to raise my hands to you and thank you. You know, it's such an honor to be able to be up here, to be a part of such a progressive state, such a forward-thinking state. You know, I've been so blessed as a young urban Indian man to be able to be a part of this culture down here in Seattle, to be able to perform right in the city center. I love it. The next song that we will be doing is our Shigi Gune, or Gusuwa E Kagwantan Yatki. Where are you, children of the Kagwantan? Haandei I Jin. Yehu ayana hehia ana. Yehu ayana hehia ana. Yehu ayana hehia ana. Yehu ayana hehia ana. Yehu ayana. Ayahani haya. Kusuwa ehia ana. Kagwantan yaki. Ganesh Chish. Before we move on to our next song, I'd just like to recognize the people of the land, the Duwamish. Like to, you know, thank my whole group here for being here, because if they weren't here, I wouldn't be here. I'd also like to explain a little bit. I don't know if you heard who our dance group name was. It's Haandei I Jin. Haandei I Jin. In Tlingit, this means take my hand. My own interpretation of this is come take my hand and join us in remembering who we are. I believe we're only scheduled for 5 minutes, but you know, we're running on a little bit of Indian time. You know how it goes. The next song that we like to do is our Killer Whale song. Haandei I Jin. Way yaha yaha. Hey yaha yaha. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up on our exit song here. I'd like to thank you again for your time, for your patience. Thank you all for being here. And to end this performance on a good note, I'd like to say that although today is a very good day to celebrate being Indigenous, every day is a good day to celebrate being Indigenous, not just one day. I'd like to leave you guys with that, and thank you very much for your time. We are Haandei I Jin.
That was amazing. We have one group left. Thank you all for hanging in there and finishing out this entire day of celebration with us. We have Matt and his group Lakota Oyate.
Amatakipi. Chante weste na pechius apelo. Wakian wanatara machi apelo. Yan woslaha amata hen yelo. Etukashila wakantaha ampetukile wopila. Ampetukile wo ashte yoha. Good afternoon. My English name's Matt Remle. My Lakota name's Wakia wa Anton from Standing Rock. And just would like to give acknowledgement and thanks to our Coast Salish relatives, Duwamish and Quamish relatives allowing us to be here, guests upon their homelands. I'd like to acknowledge Marta over here. Let's give her a hand, and Canoes for putting us on today. For Jennifer, Mother Nation, who put on the march earlier, let's give some acknowledgement for them. And as you all know, here in Seattle, We keep it going all day and night, so come out to Daybreak Star for our evening celebration. Doors open at 4, salmon dinner starts at 5, and celebration 6 o'clock. We'll be doing honorings and keeping this thing going because, you know, we start with Seattle, we end with Seattle, so we keep this going all day and night. I just want to, before we share a couple songs, you know, it's been mentioned a few times about a statewide Indigenous Peoples Day, and I'd just like to put folks on notice that we currently have someone in office who we've reached out to and is going to more than likely support, sponsor a resolution this upcoming legislative session. So we can get you all down in Olympia. I'm going to close out with a couple of giving thanks songs.
Thank you. That was wonderful. We have one more speaker with some final closing remarks. I'd like to invite Marta. I saw her just a second ago. And before I exit, I just want to thank each and every one of you again from my heart, from my soul. You have fed my spirit today. And like I said, I'm new to Seattle, and I've been looking for you, and I've been fed today, so thank you for that. Thank you.
Has your soul been fed today? Yes, yes. I just want to say again, thank you for everyone for coming. All the groups that performed, everything was absolutely beautiful. The spirit is here with us. It's a loving spirit, and we want you to take it to Daybreak this evening and participate in all the festivities there. So as we close, we again want to thank all of you for your participation, for the love you've shown, and just being here together and celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day 2019. Yay! Shout out for it. All right. Thank you. As we close, please go safely, and we'll see you at Daybreak this evening. Many blessings to you. Bye-bye.